We usually perceive space as a gap to be bridged. To communicate across a room, your voice creates pressure waves in the air, and light reflects off your body to reach their eyes. Every interaction requires a medium, and most importantly, time. These three mosquitoes, Albert, Boris, and Nathan, ignore those rules. They aren't ordinary insects. They exist in a state of quantum entanglement. They fly in a complex, synchronized tunnel without any of the cues biological organisms typically need to avoid a collision. In a standard biological system, a mosquito would need to see its partner's movement and then process that signal through its nervous system, a sequence that takes dozens of milliseconds. But these three react to one another with zero latency, moving in total unison across the room. For their movements to be truly simultaneous, information would have to bypass the nervous system and the air entirely. In our current understanding of classical physics, this level of instant coordination across a distance is a mechanical impossibility. This is the core mystery of the EPR paradox, or quantum entanglement. It describes a phenomenon where the physical states of separated objects are linked, meaning the properties of one are tied to the properties of the others, regardless of the distance between them. To visualize this, imagine you and two friends are each holding a playing card face down. These aren't normal cards, they are entangled. If you flip your card to reveal a queen and your friend reveals a king, the identity of the third card is already fixed. Even if no one has looked at it, the system has determined what that card must be. Our mosquitoes work the same way. Because their states are entangled, measuring Albert provides certain information about the others immediately. This presents a problem for the speed of light. If Nathan's state is determined the exact moment Albert is measured, the information appears to travel across the room instantly, bypassing the constraints of conventional spacetime. We have to explain how that happens without relying on hidden signals. We know these mosquitoes aren't using microscopic radio transmitters or high-frequency sound to talk to each other. Look at the sheer volume of empty air in a study. For a signal to travel from a desk lamp to the ceiling instantly, it would have to move faster than light, which violates the local laws of physics. Since we can't find a signal traveling through the room, we have to consider that the answer isn't about how they communicate, but about the structure of the space that separates them. To explain how 2 points in a room can be synchronized without a signal passing between them, we have to look toward the geometry of the universe itself. This brings us to the ER side of the mystery, Einstein-Rosen bridges. These are the theoretical tunnels through spacetime we commonly call wormholes. A wormhole functions by folding the fabric of space, creating a direct physical bridge between 2 points that appear distant on the surface. Physicists have proposed a link between these two ideas, called ER equals EPR. Entanglement and wormholes describe the same phenomenon. Under this theory, our mosquitoes are physically connected by a microscopic wormhole. Information takes a shorter path through a hidden dimension. It doesn't travel faster, it just has less distance to cover. The impossible coordination we see on the surface is just the result of two seemingly separate objects being in direct physical contact through a shortcut in spacetime. Imagine the author of this thought experiment sitting at his desk. He looks up and catches sight of Albert by his arm and Boris near the lamp. In the nanosecond he observes them, the mechanics of the system are forced to resolve. By fixing the positions of Albert and Boris, the observer effectively uses the wormhole connection to lock in the rest of the system. Nathan's location is determined at once. Nathan can no longer exist in a state of probability or uncertainty. Because his hidden physical connection to the others is absolute, his position is defined the moment the others are seen. This observation doesn't trigger a change in the third mosquito. Instead, it collapses a single shared reality that all three insects occupy together. This is the core principle of entanglement. The group functions as a single, indivisible system. Albert, Boris, and Nathan always hunt as one single being that simply happens to occupy three separate bodies. If ER equals EPR is correct, it changes how we view the void of space. What looks like an entirely empty gap between two highly distant stars might actually be just a surface-level illusion. The entire universe could be held together by a vast network of these microscopic connections, a tapestry of space-time threads linking every part of the cosmos. We live in a reality where distance is real, but beneath that surface, the universe operates as an interconnected architecture. Every part is defined by its relationship to the whole.